This week, we'll learn how to turn your favorite script into an executable that can run on any platform using pyinstaller. Welcome to another MetPy Monday. Hello, I'm John Lehman, a software engineer for Unidata. This week, I want to look at how we can use pyinstaller to turn our scripts into executables. This is something that, as a researcher, you may not need to do that often, but if you need to share just an executable to run to, say, students in a class, or you've got a handy program that you want to be able to, say, pull up weather briefings on a computer that you don't have the ability to install all of the Python tools on, well, you can make that script an executable. So first we need a script. We don't want to make anything too complicated. We're just learning how to use the tool. So we're going to make a script that plots polynomial functions, and in a very basic way. So I'm going to import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, import numpy as mp, the exponent, I'm going to float an input of enter and exponent. X, I'm going to use linspace. Actually, let's just use a range from -100 to 100. Y is going to be x to the exponent. Then we're going to call plot.plot of xy, plot.show. And that is our very simple script. So let's go ahead and run it. We're going to call python simplescript.py. Find the exponent of 2. We'll get a pop-up from matplotlib, and that shows our quadratic function. Okay, so this works pretty well, and then I exit it. And we go there. Let's add one more piece of functionality, which is queue to quit. So I'm going to remove my float. So if exponent is equal to q, then we're going to call sys.exit, else exponent is going to be float exponent. And we'll need to import sys. Okay, so let's run that now. If we type Q, it quits. So that works. We can go ahead and then loop it around with a while true. So now I'm going to enter the exponent of 1. We should get a line. And we get a line. It loops back to the top, enter an exponent. Let's do 3 this time. And there we go. We get a cubic. And then Q quits the program. All right, great. So our simple script works. This is something we want to hand out to our students to understand polynomials. Or, you can imagine a scenario where you want this to be a portable program that's an executable, and you don't need to walk everybody through installing the appropriate Python packages. Well, we're going to install pyinstaller. You can do that from pip. You can do that from condaforge, however you'd like. Just so you know, conda install-c, conda-forge, pyinstaller would be what you're looking for if you want to install with conda. If you're not running in a conda environment, pip install pyinstaller is what you're looking for. I already have pyinstaller on this environment. So I'm going to type pyinstaller simplescript.py. And you can obviously configure this, and there's lots of information in the manual on different options that you've got, but the defaults for a simple program like this are probably going to work just fine. So it's going to go through and build the distribution for you. So it's getting everything that it needs from the environment, packaging that together, and creating an executable. This will build executables for any platform. All right, so our build is done. We can go into the folder where we had our simple script. There's a spec file that's going to describe the build for us, the build directory, and dist, which is what we actually would be distributing. Notice it's 833 megabytes. There's a lot of things that were packed into here. And in simple script, we see there's all these libraries. But if we go down and find our executable and all these DLLs, because I'm on a Windows system, simplescript.exe. If I run that executable, it's going to pull up a new window, or it would launch the GUI, and my program works even though I'm not running in a Python environment that I set up on this system. And Q, the window closes. So again, this is a great way to take your scripts and build them into something that you can share with others. They can just run as an executable, or you can run them on a system where you do not have permission to install things. I hope that you found this useful, and I'll see you on next week's MetPy Monday.